Hey there, friends. I'm Adrienne. Welcome back to Better Days Start Today. Today, we're going to be talking about 5 ways to find what you actually like in this season of life. So if you've been feeling lost, maybe like life is a little flat right now, not much getting you excited, not much bringing you down, you're just kind of like in that middle ground where everything's just like, okay. Maybe you feel disconnected, like you're going through the motions, but you're not enjoying anything. This episode is for you. So I'm sharing 5 powerful and practical ways to start figuring out what you actually like in this version of your life. Whether you're starting from scratch, like you've just had major life upheaval, or you're just trying to figure out what lights you up again, you will leave this episode with clear ideas. I'll give you some ways to follow clues as to what it might be that makes you feel a little more alive in this season of life. If you've caught yourself thinking, especially lately, I don't know what I like anymore. I used to be passionate about things, but not so much anymore. Or if you've been focused on surviving and keeping it together, you're taking care of everyone else, there's a good chance that joy and fun and personal fulfillment have just fallen off the radar. But we're here to put it back on the radar. Just so you know, this is incredibly common, especially after big shifts, big life events, loss, burnout, transitions, identity changes. But again, you could just wake up and feel lost or disconnected from the life that you built. Also, super normal. The thing is, you don't have to overhaul your whole life. You don't need this big, massive change to start feeling good again. You don't need to have this crazy plan, 5-year plan, and all of a sudden life is fantastic again. We could just start where you are right now. You need just a spark, something that gives you that feeling, like that warm fuzzy, that little buzzy, exciting feeling that just kind of points you back to yourself. And we'll talk about how to get to that feeling. The thing is, if you feel like things are a bit flat, don't know what you like right now, things are lacking some passion, I don't want you to go back to who you used to be. The thing is, as we go through life, we change and we evolve. And it's up to us to figure out what's right for us in this season. Not what's right according to other people, not the version they want you to be, not the version you used to be, not the version somebody expects. This is about figuring out what lights you up right now in this season of your life, fully knowing that it may change again because it has already. The first thing, pay attention to what you keep coming back to. Even if you feel kind of like, about most things, there's patterns there. Are you rewatching any content or saving it or rereading any books? Are you gravitating towards any type of book right now? Like you're mostly reading romances or you're reading a travel memoir or whatever it might be. Are you binging a certain type of show where you're in like your dark thriller phase, not so much the comedy phase? Have you noticed that you feel more energized when you're talking to some people versus other people? You find yourself maybe wanting to talk to them more or spend more time with them. Just kind of notice what you keep coming back to. And this doesn't have to mean that you're like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing in the world. I'm having the best time of my life and I can't wait for more and more and more of this. This is just about identifying things that are drawing you in. Because when you start noticing what you're going back to, there's something there. There's a reason there. There's some common denominator going on. And when you can uncover that, you can find the thread that's drawing you in. And then you can be intentional about bringing that to other aspects of your life. Right now, I'm following the Book of Alchemy, a creative practice for an inspired life. And the reason for that is because my journaling has gotten a little bit stale. I found that my days have become a little bit routine right now. I'm working on building the business. And so things are just kind of a little bit more routine and structured than usual. So I'm just feeling a little bit in a slump, if you will. So of course I always return to books, I always return to writing, and I decided to figure out what I could do that brings those things together. And that's where I came up with my 100-day project of following her book. She has a spark or an essay every day and then a prompt at the end of it. And that is what you write about. Of course, you can use it for art journaling or something else if you wanted, but I'm doing it as a writing practice. It has been getting me to look at things quite a bit differently. It's getting me to look at some positive things that have happened. Or the prompt that I wrote about this morning was talking about thinking back to when you started a daily practice. What kept bringing you back to it? What were the obstacles? Even if you missed a day, what brought you back? And looking for that common thread of why do you keep showing up for it? And so one of the things I thought about was when I first started riding my Peloton. When I first started riding with Peloton, I actually had a trainer for my road bike. I didn't actually buy the Peloton bike immediately because I was like, oh, what if I don't like it? What if I'm not going to stick with it? And this was 2017-ish. I put my bike on a trainer and I'm following the classes and I fell in love with it. Absolutely loved it. The music, the instructors, the leaderboard with the high fives, the whole bit of it. Loved it. Of course, when you're working out, you got to give your body a break and stuff. But the thing that kept bringing me back to this, and now, I have the bike. I've had the bike for years and I'm always going back to the bike, especially if I'm in a slump with my movement. One of the first things I do is I return to the Peloton. And so looking for the thread as to why, I identify two things. One, I have fun doing it. The instructors that I love are funny. They tell great stories. There's people on the leaderboard. So whether I'm riding with friends or strangers from the internet, there's people there supporting you, high-fiving you. You're not alone in doing it. That gives me energy. The music, typically if I'm walking or if I'm hiking or running, I don't use headphones. I don't listen to music. It's just me on the roads. So when I am on my Peloton, I got music going and that gives me life. There's the fun aspect. Even though I'm moving and I'm working out, I'm having fun while I'm doing it. And for me, that is one of the few things I have found, aside from hiking, being on my feet outside, that is going to be fun for me every time. The second thing I found is even if I don't feel like getting on the bike, every single time I get off of it, I feel good about myself. I could be having the worst, crummiest day. I could have made some ridiculous decisions. I could be in conflict with somebody I love. I could be sitting with shame and regret and overthinking the thing that I should have done differently. I could be feeling lazy. I could be feeling tired, sick and tired of myself, whatever it is, right? Just feeling really low. And I get on the bike and I have fun. I jam out and then I get off the bike and it doesn't matter what is going on in my life. It moves emotion for me. My mom was first diagnosed and even now at challenging times, I jump on the bike and depending on the story or the music, have myself a good cry while I'm sweating. But I'm enjoying it. I'm moving the emotions through me. I'm enjoying the music. So whatever hard thing is going on in my life, I have fun with it. And then I feel good about myself after. I'm proud that I did it. I'm proud that I got on. I had fun. I did something good for my body. I took care of myself. I feel good about myself. With Peloton, when I say pay attention to what you keep coming back to, that's one thing I keep coming back to. And I wrote about it in my alchemy project. I come back to Peloton, and the two reasons that I identified was because I have fun with it and I feel good about myself. When I'm looking to create something good in my life, a good feeling, I find that next right feeling, try to identify the things that I'm going to have fun with and I'm going to feel good about myself after doing. Some stuff might have both elements, some stuff might just have one element, but it gives me a starting point to follow my curiosity. That's what I mean. Pay attention to what you keep coming back to. And then when you look at that, try to find some underlying reasons as to why these things are drawing you in. And that will give you clues about some other things you can try to figure out what you like right now, what lights you up right now. The second thing, notice what makes you feel capable. Figuring out what we like, experiencing joy, fulfillment. These things happen when we feel capable, when we feel like we're contributing, when we feel like we're in service. So I say capable because you're doing something. So it could be something where you feel useful, you feel effective. Again, you're supporting somebody or something else. And it doesn't have to be this big, impressive thing. It's just kind of something that you feel grounded in where you're like, yeah, I feel really capable when I'm doing that. And that feels good. That makes me feel good about myself. My example for this is I am loving mowing the grass right now. Might sound stupid, might sound ridiculous, but I've never had a lawn before. It's the first time I've ever had a lawn. So I've lived in apartments in the city in my younger years, growing up and then through college, in Boston and then out in Southern California. And then when I went into my career in law enforcement, I went to Arizona and I lived in the desert. So everything had desert landscaping, rocks and cactus. I've never had a lawn before. So first, it's novel, it's new. It's like, oh, I've never had this thing and I get to take care of it. I get to make it look good. gets me outside. So I was out there today and the sun is shining and it's, like this light breeze. It just feels really good. And the other thing is, and this is where like the capable thing comes in, it's like a tangible result. When I'm done, I look and I'm like, this looks so much better than it did before I started. I feel capable. I got something done. I got something I can visually see as an accomplishment. I mowed the grass and it looked damn good. And I did that. It might sound silly, but if you feel like everything, just nothing feels good right now, you're not enjoying anything, maybe identify something that makes you feel capable, that gives you like a tangible result, like you did something, and just follow that. See where it takes you. It doesn't have to be mowing the grass. You don't got to go out and do manual labor, or you can if you want to, right? Like I'm feeling that right now. But just something that gives you a sense of peace and pride and progress. The grass, there is a clear before and a clear after. And I'm digging that right now. Love it. The third thing, let your body be a clue. I talk about this a lot, going into the sensations of your body, feeling how things feel. Does it feel expansive? Does it feel constrictive? Does it feel like freedom? Does it feel light? Does it feel heavy? Joy or getting to do something you like? Feeling those good feelings? It's not just mental, it's physical as well. You're experiencing positive emotions, but you can feel that in your body. You could feel that your body is vibrating at a different frequency, that you're energetically feeling different when you're doing something you like, when you're doing something you enjoy, when you're experiencing joy. Now, the thing is, sometimes when things are feeling really just kind of flat, meh, like nothing's really good right now, it can be hard to get a good reading on what feels good in your body. You just feel really disconnected from your body. I will share a story. This is, back in 2017. I was kind of going through a rough patch. I was in therapy and my therapist was asking me questions about how I feel. And this is something that I do with coaching clients that, I ask them to go in their body and see how things feel, because that could be a really accurate reading of what's going on for us. At least me, a lot of people, we tend to over intellectualize things. So she's asking me questions and she pointed that out. She's like, you are so stuck in your head right now. She's like, you are disconnected from your body. And so her prescription for me was to go start a yoga practice. And I did like a full body eye roll at that point. I'm just like, oh, yay. The nice lady's telling me to go do yoga. That's cool. I don't know. I was like annoyed by it and kind of laughing at it. I mean, I'm somebody that loves physical activity, but it just felt like, oh, okay, yeah, going and doing yoga. That's going to solve my problems. Thank you. But the thing is, so I did yoga with Adrienne on YouTube, not me, Adrienne with one N, who's fantastic, by the way. She's got tons and tons of videos on there. And I did that because I wanted to be able to do it at my house because I felt like I was going to be bad at yoga and I didn't want to go to a yoga studio or I didn't know anybody. I'm like, I got enough going on. I don't need to feel like the awkward person in the room. It's just stories I'm telling myself. But to remove the barrier of entry of feeling weird in this new setting, doing this thing I didn't know how to do, I decided I'd do an at-home practice. So I started following Yoga with Adrienne on YouTube and I started committing to her 30-day challenges. Like she'll do a monthly calendar that has 30 days of yoga on it. And so I was like, I'm just going to follow the calendar plan 100% and show up every day. Whatever's on the calendar, I'm doing it and just see where it takes me. The gift that yoga practice gave me, well, I did get a little bit fitter. Things felt like a little bit tighter. Felt like I was getting stronger. That's great. But the thing that it gave me was I slowed down and I was in my body when I was doing yoga. And so that helped me get back in tune with my body and how my body felt. And that meant as I did other things, I could notice how it felt in my body when I was doing those things. I could clearly feel when my body was like, nope, this is not right for you. Or, yeah, we want more of that. That yoga practice was my inroad back to feeling sensations in my body and paying attention. Let your body be a clue to what feels good, to what you like, to what brings you joy. And if you're having trouble feeling that in your body, we can calibrate your body compass if you do a coaching session with me. Or the other thing is you could just start maybe doing some yoga, something that slows you down and gets you into your body where you have to pay attention to the sensations in your body. And that will help you pay attention to the sensations in your body even when you're not doing yoga. The fourth thing, revisit what used to light you up without the pressure to love it again. Sometimes old loves, things you used to love, things you used to be excited about, they hold new information. Not everything will still fit, but revisiting it will help you see what's changed. When you return to old things, you're practicing a noticing. When you try something you used to like, do you still like it? Do you like anything about it? Did you enjoy any part of doing it? Or did you find out like, that's a full body no? Not for me right now. That's information. One of the things I talk about loving all the time is Legos. I loved Legos as a kid. I also loved jigsaw puzzles. Loved those as a kid too. Always did them with my grandmother. My Nana could do a tiny piece, like 1,000+ jigsaw, like nobody's business. And she'd let me help her. So great memories with doing jigsaw puzzles. And I still love them. They're a form of relaxation and almost meditative for me. When I'm having a challenging day or challenging time, I go to these things because I know that these things are still things that I love. Now, something I want to share about them is, and it's similar with paint by number. Like I love making stuff and drawing and painting, not very good at it by like the artistic standard, but I enjoy doing it. I return to these things because they get me to focus on what I'm doing. They require my hands, like I'm making something with my hands. Got to put the pieces in place for the jigsaw, got to snap the pieces together with Legos. Painting, you're holding the brush, you got to dip the paint, you got to like look at where you're putting it. You're occupying yourself in a way that doesn't allow your mind to run away with you. It gives you something to focus on. And similar to the lawn, there is a clear before and a clear after when you do that, right? There's like payoff for your effort. And I love that. But my common thread for those things, which I'm kind of like incorporating all the things I said here, is that I'm doing something with my hands. And that helps me get out of my head. Now, one thing I did not love as a kid was team sports. Didn't love them. Wasn't athletic. Super awkward, super uncoordinated. That was me. So didn't love team sports. I'd play them a little bit as a kid, but not my jam. I will tell you, I went to an event. It was like a connection event for a community that I'm in. And there was going to be a day where we were doing like team lawn games. Yeah, that was announced. And I felt like, well, all of my nightmares are coming true right now. This is perfect. I am going to have to do athletic sort of things or things that require some form of coordination. And I'm going to have to do them in front of a bunch of people. And then there's like a point system. So I got to like perform and do okay, or else I'm dragging my team down. And everybody's like, yeah, super competitive. This is going to be so fun. And I'm literally like, this is like every nightmare from my childhood being dredged up right now. This is going to be awful. And I hate to admit it, but I started off with like this secret negative energy towards it. Not going to express it out loud because everybody's pumped. And so I'm just like, ugh, the dread. So I kind of kept it to myself. But as we started playing, and it was like, we did some mini golf and like a beanbag throw, and we did this like sprints across the area, whatever it was, right? Like there's this whole giant list of activities we did. As we started doing them, I was having fun. I was getting into it. I'm laughing. I just let all the pressure go, and I was enjoying having fun with these people. Now I get like that's not team in the sense of like I went and joined a group hockey league, but I was in a team dynamic and we were doing athletic things. Some of them were goofy, but a lot of them, there's some athleticism involved, some sprinting or retrieving stuff, being kind of agile, things like that. And I found that anxiety that I had of having to like perform in front of people, something physical, didn't cripple me inside anymore. Didn't make me feel horrible. I had a ton of fun that day. Does that mean that I want to go out and join a basketball league? Probably not. But my mind is like, some pickleball might be fun. The thing is, that's something that when I was younger, I would have been like, oh, this is my worst nightmare. And I started to think that when it came back around now, and I had a ton of fun. So I thought about like, what was that was fun? We were moving around in a way where I was sweating, like I was breathing heavy, and I like physical activity. So much more than I did when I was a kid too. So that was like, okay, that's a win. I was surrounded by people that I love, that I have fun with. And we were laughing and connecting. And I'm like, this isn't so bad. And maybe that would have been the experience when I was a kid if I, didn't have so much anxiety around being the goofy, awkward kid in front of everybody. But I found being with people that I like, moving around and laughing, what's not to like, right? Whatever it is, there might be something there. There might be a clue about something that you used to like, even if it's not that exact thing that you could bring into now to explore in other ways. One thing you can do is you can create a joy resume. It's all the things you've ever enjoyed. No judgment, big, small, whatever it is. If you enjoyed it, Put it on the list. And then, even if you don't feel like it, even if you think that's going to be stupid, go down the list and revisit those things and see how you feel. See if there's any clues about what you like or strongly dislike in this season of your life. And then let those clues lead you to something else. The thing is, these are just data points. And so one of the things I teach is using AI as a thinking partner. You can take these data points, the results of these 5 things, and you can put them into ChatGPT and be like, I'm struggling to feel alive right now. I don't feel very happy. I feel very flat in my life. I've been exploring these 5 things to try and figure out what I like in this season of life. And this is what I've learned along the way. What are some things you recommend that I try next? See what comes up. So on that note, you're going to do that joy resume, everything that's ever brought you joy, that you enjoy doing. Think 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, last year, and figure out what part of that might still feel good now. Just go through it and try. Just see. The 5th thing, look for the small spark, not the grand plan. All of this is about finding the next right feeling. You don't have to find your thing, your passion, your capital P purpose. This is about what's going to make you feel alive again, what's going to bring you some joy, what you're going to enjoy in the day-to-day. So you're just looking for the next right feeling. Just keep that in mind. This doesn't have to be, oh gosh, I got to find this thing because it's going to define the next 5 years of my life. I mean, maybe you do find that thing, but don't make it that big where it's like big and scary and you don't want to even try. Just think about you're finding the next right feeling. Maybe that is reading a book that you never would normally pick up. Maybe it's returning to a book that you love. Maybe it is watching a sunrise or sunset, just having a beautiful moment outside. Maybe it's getting together with an old friend. Maybe it's trying one of those things from when you were a kid. Whatever it is, right? Like you just want to experiment. And as you do it, look for the next right feeling. Like what feels good. Even if it only feels a little bit good. Because that's a clue as to what the bigger thing might be that makes you feel good, that you enjoy. So we're just looking for the next right feeling. Just a small spark that like you kind of feel alive again when you're doing it. So let's recap. If you have been feeling flat, stuck, or unsure about what lights you up anymore, these 5 things can help you start finding your way back to joy, back to what lights you up. First thing, notice what you keep circling back to. Second thing, pay attention to what makes you feel capable. Third thing, let your body guide you. Fourth thing, revisit what you used to love, what you used to enjoy, just to see, not with the expectation you'll love it again, just to see. Fifth thing, follow the spark. There's no pressure to have it all figured out. Just follow the spark of what feels good and follow it to the next right feeling. That's it. It's just like these small moments that give you clues about what's going to light you up in this season of life. If this episode resonated, I would love to invite you to my upcoming workshop, Rediscover What Brings You Joy, with a little help from AI as your thinking partner. And we're going to go deeper into all of this together. There's going to be reflection, tools, creative prompts, support live to help you figure out what it is that will light you up again. So if you are interested in learning more, www.adriancrowley.com/workshops. And if you're not already on my email list, hop on my email list. I have a Reimagine Your Life guide that is on my website. When you go there, I'll also throw it in the show notes and grab the guide. It has some amazing, fun AI prompts in there that'll get you thinking about your life a little bit differently than you may have lately. Give you some ideas, some avenues to explore for what might light you up again. I hope this episode has been helpful to you. I would love it if you would send me a DM on social and let me know what landed. Let me know what you tried. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, I hope you have an amazing week. Thanks so much for spending time with me on Better Days Start Today. If you loved this episode, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the podcast, and leave a review. It helps more people find this space and start creating their better days too. And hey, don't forget to sign up for my newsletter at adriancrowley.com. You'll get exclusive tips, tools, and access to complimentary events designed to support you every step of the way. Until next time, remember, your better days, they start today.